When you talk about the bad boy to many women, what you often find is that these women will want to run away. You see, the bad boy stigma has gained so much notoriety that it's automatically associated with an immature and childish guy only seeking pleasure. But as much as this is true, women keep on seeking the bad boy. Today, we consider why women always want the guy they keep on saying is childish and flawed. You'll find out just how hypocritical women can be and why they tend to gravitate back toward their natural instinct, instead of focusing on logic when choosing partners. This will be a brand new revelation. Why women choose bad boys. Whilst numerous different signs make bad boys the worst partners for women, they still seem to be in the lead when you see how many women they can get. To the more mature man, who's been focusing on his own life and making improvements, this can be quite daunting, and yours truly has also had to understand why this happens. You see, we all want to become better and improve ourselves, but this takes time and some sacrifice. Unfortunately, you'll need to let go of many traits that make the bad boy so successful when you choose to become a better man. But as these changes happen, the women also dry up. The great thing about the bad boy personality is that it's also one of the most studied personality archetypes, which means there are many different signs that psychologists have noticed working when it comes to courting such a woman. But what you need to understand is that bad boys cultivate a need inside women, which motivates them to pursue it. Due to the somewhat unpredictable and reckless nature of these personality archetypes, they tend to create a fear of losses. Since these men seem like they can get almost any woman, it's natural for other women to also feel this. With the competition surrounding the man established, women feel the need to chase them to secure this kind of person. What you get is a woman who's constantly trying to please him and looking to snag the man into a relationship. From the outside, it seems like he has it all figured out, and instead of having to chase women, he can simply choose who he wants to be with. But what are these unique personality traits that many men have or embody that make women simply want to chase them and ensure they're tied down? Number 1. Living life by their own rules. Let's get out of the gate with a bang. The first very important trait that makes bad boys so valuable to women is the fact that these men don't abide by the standards of the average Joe. Instead of following the rules of society, they've found a way to live life the way they choose and see fit, which is what ultimately makes them seem larger than life. You see, a woman wants to feel like her partner's the most powerful and dominant person, and the average Joe doesn't quite dare to take on the world and live life by his own rules. Normal men live in fear that things might go wrong, which is why they tend to fear speaking their minds and being who they want to be. Even though the bad boy also fears rejection and whatever might come his way, he still chooses to live a somewhat disagreeable life, which tends to make him far more attractive in the eyes of women, who are seeking someone who can break the monotony of the life they've become used to. Now, living life by your own rules does not imply you should be breaking the laws or any of the normal societal rules. This does happen occasionally and is still attractive, but to understand why, we still need to create another video. Ultimately, it boils down to these men seeming adventurous and being able to have fun without any regard for the consequences. Their inability to care about those they step on makes them seem courageous to many women, whereas others would see this as arrogance. In fact, it's a very fine line between being confident and completely arrogant, but it all works. Number 2, not prioritizing women. Another quite powerful trait when it comes to the bad boys is how they actually treat women. What you'll find is that these men have an aura, which seems like they don't even care if they have a girlfriend or not. They just waltz through life, and if a woman tags along, that's great. If she doesn't, who cares? Having this mentality is extremely powerful, and it makes women feel like they don't carry the power in the encounter or relationship anymore. The moment she realizes this, her natural instinct will automatically kick in, which means that she becomes a lot more submissive as well. By not prioritizing women, these men tend to force women to make themselves a priority, which also means they need to put in some of the work when it comes to the relationship. Now you have an imbalance of power, where the man dominates and simply continues his life, whilst the woman needs to fight in order to keep him. Since she's now fully occupied with trying to entertain the relationship, she automatically tends to invest more effort into the relationship. With her now being more invested, she doesn't have any escape. And this is how the bad boy ultimately makes women completely and utterly obsessed. A great example of this is found in the hit television series 2.5 Men, with the character of Charlie Harper. Number 3. Unpredictable behavior. The next one hinges directly on many of the others, and it also ties in with them, if we consider how powerful it is, but also how subtle this technique is. You see, being unpredictable is not a technique, but rather a way of life and a personality nuance many men have to deal with. It's just fascinating that bad boys often also have this in their arsenal. You see, many women are stuck in their monotonous lives where they've been completely obedient and often have a powerful figure like a parent who they submit to. But when you constantly submit to others, you eventually start hating yourself and realize just how much of your life you've given up. This unique, rebellious nature women have to endure becomes the precipice for their obsession with the bad boy and his unpredictable nature. You see, unpredictability is quite powerful on its own, and it often stems from someone being easily bored. What you need to realize is that many women who've been raised in a good household had to follow some stringent rules when it came to their personal lives. And now they get to meet someone who doesn't need to follow these rules. The movie The Breakfast Club actually portrays this perfectly well. If you follow the main character, you'll see how the most perfect of women can become rebellious when a man shows her how to live a life of her own accord. The bad boy naturally has the unique power to make people see their lives can be better. These people will automatically associate this incredible time with the guy, and she will crave this to be the new norm of her life. So she'll naturally just continue chasing him as much as she possibly can to ensure that the excitement and unpredictability never fade away. Number 4. Ultimate confidence. If you've been following this channel for a while, you'll notice that many women desire confidence. A confident man tends to win the hearts of those around him with his natural charm and the power shown by his personality. What you need to realize is that many bad boys have been fortunate enough to engage in relationships and intimacy with a variety of women. This means they don't directly crave this, which already ushers them into a new level compared to the men who are constantly seeking a partner. Since they cannot be manipulated by women, especially when it comes to intimacy, they don't even compete in the same league as many other men who are vying for the exact same woman. Since he doesn't need to chase her, she wonders why every other guy is chasing her, but this one guy doesn't care to chase. Additionally, women don't have the natural confidence of these men, and confidence is something that many people crave, especially when they don't have it. Women will crave this confident man to be around them, and they believe he'll be able to completely change their world. For this reason, she's more than likely to continue chasing and following him. Once again, you need to find the balance between confidence and arrogance, as many people completely fail when it comes to striking the balance. Once you slip over to arrogance, you're still a bad boy, but women might be far more disgusted with who you are. Number 5. No beating around the bush. One of the main reasons why many men fail is simply because they're not willing to directly state their intentions or make them clear. You see, men have adopted this passive-aggressive mindset, which stems from fear of losing and not being accepted by a woman for who he is. The main difference is that the bad boy does not fear any rejection, and he'll muster up the confidence to approach any woman he finds attractive. If he wants a second date, he doesn't hesitate to tell her, and the same is true for when it comes to getting her telephone number. In essence, these men say things the way they are, and they constantly focus on trying to get what they want. Being so direct and upfront is a breath of fresh air for many women, who have to find themselves discerning whether or not a guy likes her. You see, women want to be the people who play the games, but they don't want to mull around about things like whether he likes her or not. So, bad boys would be upfront and direct, telling her he likes her before he simply just lets it all sink in and allows her to continue living her life, whilst he focuses on his own. With the ball now firmly in the corner of the woman, she's the one who needs to prove to him that she can match his undying affection. So, it's better to be upfront and say what you want in a kind and cordial manner. Yes, you'll be rejected a few times, but eventually the novelty of rejection wears off, and you've found a new way to simply endure. By playing the numbers like this, success will inevitably follow. Number 6. He doesn't prioritize women. Men have recently been struggling when it comes to women, and this is what ultimately makes it hard for them to marry and settle. You see, men don't have the power to find the right women, and this lack of options has put them in a weaker position, where they have to prioritize everything if they're to get someone to like them. Many men will often sacrifice their friends or even their purpose as a way of dedicating all their time and resources to a woman. Hollywood has created the stigma that women need to be treated like princesses. And whilst this is true, it's not necessarily the right way to go about life. You see, a woman might tell you just how much she likes it when a man does everything for her. But when it comes down to it, she'll rather want to be the one who's chasing the relationship. And this is something that men fail to understand. By withholding the privilege of fighting for the relationship, these men force women to be the aggressors, and now she needs to chase. With her attention firmly occupied by this man now, she's investing more and more of herself, ultimately leading to her being the one chasing. It is for this reason that we always say your purpose is your number one priority. If you mess up your purpose or let it by, you'll be completely and utterly at a loss. Number 7. He seems dangerous. Another somewhat fascinating technique that men who are seen as bad boys often portray is the fact that they seem dangerous, but not in the sense that you might think. You see, it's easy to associate danger with a convict, and this is what can frustrate many people. However, when we refer to the danger of a bad boy, we are referring to the feeling of danger she has around him. Yes, she might trust him to care for her and ensure that she's safe, but when it comes to the deeper emotional feelings in her heart, this is where the big problem comes in. You see, she'll never truly feel secure when it comes to him, which means she constantly thinks he might be cheating or even pulling away. This fear of danger weirdly excites her, but also brings out a couple of her insecurities, which is precisely what you're looking for. You see, the moment she feels insecure, the more she'll start to chase. It is this element of chasing that will often make her continue, even if the man is abusive. However, the core element of this danger is what keeps her coming back, and if the danger's not well controlled, many of these relationships become toxic. Number 8. Enigmatic. One of the most powerful traits of the bad boy is the fact that women struggle to determine who he is and how he goes about life. You see, the versatility and unpredictable nature of his personality is something that would make women constantly wonder who he truly is. Now, women are naturally great at solving mysteries, and they can often become addicted to solving these mysteries. Since the bad boy is now presenting her with a new mystery, she's always on the lookout to try to figure out who he is and how he naturally operates. The more she digs, the deeper she becomes ensnared in his web of mystery and intrigue. And this is why you find that women become obsessive and always looking to chase him as much as they possibly can. Number 9. Willing to walk away. The bad boy doesn't dramatize the fact that he's walking away. In fact, he'll avoid walking away for as long as possible. But if he has to walk away, he can do so without a care in the world, which is quite intriguing to women who always expect a drama showdown between herself and the man. Being willing to walk away from not only women, but almost everyone who doesn't fit the purpose of this bad boy has made them extremely attractive. People naturally fear their personality nuances, and this creates some sort of addiction, especially among women. The bad boy archetype is one of the most powerful, and these men have had their way with women through the ages, which means that it still works. Only recently have we found the psychological reason for this, but this doesn't mean you should not put in the work. Make sure to check out this next video to ensure you know how to get a woman.